So I've always wanted to make carbon fiber parts for the Miata, and after attempting it on this carbon fiber headlight cover, I decided I wanted something I'm gonna see every time I'm gonna open the door of the car, which is swapping these ripped out all door cards for some sick looking carbon ones.
It isn't hard to see the change in our mood. Now that you're face up with the world, was like you got the things no one understood until you went further outside. But I need no time and I'll get real.
So in this video, we decided to make another carbon part. But since our resin and gel coat for making molds didn't arrive yet, I said, like, what can we do without a mold? Like, what part can we do without a mold? And one thing that really bothered me on the Miata, first off, everything here, as you can see, this dirt and all, that is unwashable. That is just like embedded into this material. Also, the door card is from some sort of cardboard or something. I'm not really sure, but it's just, yeah, it's really screwed up. All the clips are not like cracked, but the mounting points in the cardboard door panel are cracked, so you cannot really put them back unless you glue them on or anything, and it would be too much of a hassle. But if you can see, the door cards are flat, meaning we have a glass panel over here, and a glass panel is flat, and it doesn't react with any of the epoxies and resins or anything you use for carbon fiber part production, which is great. So we don't have to make a mold. We can just make resin infusion on this glass panel and then just trim it out to the size of the door card. Easy as that. So let's get to it. So David is going to clean the glass panel because we got it from the glass guy and it's kind of dirty and we want it as clean as possible. And meanwhile, I'm gonna take the door card off for measurement purposes. So let's do that.
Don't look down.
That glass panel over there is 100 centimeters on 120. This door card is 100 centimeters by 37, give or take, which means we can do a carbon sheet that is big enough so we can cut out 2 of these at once, which is nice, which saves a lot of material during the resin infusion and also a lot of time. After measuring the door cards, I laid on the first layer of 210 gram carbon fiber cloth. We also don't want any loose strands of carbon under there because it will be seen. So now we kind of laid out the carbon fiber exactly how we wanted to, because it is very easy to distort it and make the fibers go all over the place. So now we're going to use this type of glue that we're going to stick it in place, because this is the outer layer. This is 210 gram carbon fiber, which is one of the lighter ones, and this is for the visual side of things. And then we're going to use, we have I think a 640 gram or something like that, which is a little too much. A 400 something would be ideal, but we don't have that, so 600 would have to do. So it's not going to be extremely light, but it's going to make it stiff, which is what we want. Not really stiff, it's going to be still kind of flimsy because it is a flat plane and there's not edges that are going to stabilize it, but we cannot do just one layer because that would be see-through and behave like paper. So now that I'm happy with how the fiber looks and there's no any crooks and not any fibers that are out of place, we're gonna fix it in place with this surface tack. Laying down carbon fiber cloth without the fibers distorting is a little bit more tricky than we make it seem here. So if you're trying to do some carbon fiber parts yourself, don't be discouraged if it takes you some time. Then we head on and lay the second layer. This time it's 650 gram cloth. Okay, so that's 2 layers of carbon fiber on top of each other. Now we have to put stuff like peel ply and infusion mesh. Peel ply, so a vacuum bag that goes over it, it doesn't stick to it, and infusion mesh so that the resin that's going to be infused into the vacuum flows nicely and freely. The peel ply you see me cutting up here also makes the backside of the part have this nice uniform surface. After the peel ply comes the infusion mesh. And since it doesn't lay nicely flat like the fabrics, you can see me using duct tape to stretch it up slightly and hold it in place. So now we have to make something the resin flows through when we put the tubes in, and that is these. These are tubes that go through on the mesh, and they are stripped, as you can see, or I don't know what you call it, like cut. So there's holes in them that the resin can flow through. So we're gonna put it in like a U shape around this, so it nicely wraps around the entire space and goes through this exit where the vacuum pump is going to take the resin. Those two black things you see there on the mesh are infusion connectors. You put the slice tube through and the inlet tube into one and the outlet tube into the other. I then once again used duct tape to hold the tube in place, same like the infusion mesh. Then it was time for the last piece of the layup, which was the vacuum bag itself. To make the seal, we used gum tape all around the edge of the glass mold. I sadly ran out of camera space before I filmed the sealing process, but don't worry, it's a very boring part of the process anyway. Here you can see me poking the exit hole for the resin and putting in the outlet tube. Then I hooked up the catch can, which makes sure that the vacuum pump doesn't suck up any of the resin and ruins itself. Of course, I can't forget to put the gum tape around the entrance of the tube to ensure there are no leaks at all. I put the inlet tube on the opposite side and clamped it down properly so I could do a vacuum test. While the test was ongoing, I mixed up the infusion resin with a slow hardener. A slow hardener gives us enough pot life to complete the infusion before it cures in the cup. After mixing it thoroughly, I had to make sure the tube doesn't fly out during the infusion, so I taped it to a mixing stick and then taped that to the edge of the cup. Then we can unclamp it and let the resin flow through the part. After the infusion is complete, we just clamp both the inlet and the outlet and let the part cure for 2 days. Oh, nice. Okay, so the carbon turned out very, very well. There's no air pockets, nothing, even though we had a slight fuck up where we did have an air leak, but David found it, sealed it, and it turned out very, very nice. It's very smooth. The glass being the mold is just completely like the glass, so you could just, it's like a mirror actually. It's so clean. Here, I got this plexiglass, this PETG, and I drew the outline of the cardboard part of the door card. So I'm going to cut this out, and with this piece I'm always going to put it on the carbon part and trace it with a marker and then cut it on there. So I put it out of plastic, not out of paper or something, because I'm going to be reusing this quite often, I think. If someone would want a door card, so I can just have it on standby and it doesn't degrade like paper would or any other material. So yeah, let's cut out this part and place it on here and start cutting some carbon. All right, so we got it all sanded up. It looks very nice. I tried even test fitting it over the stock door cards, and it fits, I think, pretty well. Of course, this is just going to be for fastening the process of the carbon ones. So now we're going to put it over the carbon fiber, draw the lines, probably split it in half so I don't have to manipulate all the way around this part all the time, and start cutting it out. I'm trying to waste as little of space as possible, because even they'll rest of the cutouts that are gonna be maybe over there, that sheet of carbon is still good for something in the future. You never know when when you need just a little slab of carbon. So I'm trying to be as effective with the room as possible while also picking up the good edge of the carbon that we did.
I put a little bit of gum tape on the template to make sure it doesn't accidentally shift around when doing the outline with the marker.
There we go, we got our outline for the sheet. It's crazy how the surface is so glossy. See that the autofocus sometimes struggles on what to focus on, and now it's focusing on the shelf behind, since it's almost like a mirror for the camera. That's so cool. To cut the carbon fiber sheet, I am going to get some goggles or glasses, respirator, and also probably this suit over here, as for those of you who know and work with laminates, fibers from fiberglass and carbon are not very friendly to the skin. You're gonna get very itchy if you get them deep, and don't even talk about having a warm shower after. It's going to get deep in your pores and it's gonna itch for a few days. So always use protection.
I use masking tape over the lines I'm cutting to make sure the cut is as smooth as possible and reduce the risk of the cured carbon strands delaminating while cutting it up. Somehow I managed to break my Dremel bit. Had to make sure to smoothen the edges, as I'm not interested in getting a carbon splinter. Then I took off the top part from the bottom one of the OEM door card, which was pretty simple since most of the tabs were already broken off.
Right, so let's test fit it. The door card is very nasty and dirty, but that will not matter, as I will clean it when I finish all the testing. And now the top part of the OEM door card. Oh, there we go. That does not look bad at all. That looks really, really good. This, sadly, I already bought it with this little mark over here. It just cannot be cleaned for some reason. It's just some kind of paint or something. But yeah, check it out. That looks super nice. I'm very pissed about this scratch over here. That just has to get some clear coat on it or I'm gonna lose my mind, but yeah. That looks really good. I'm very happy with that, but there's one thing missing. Something I can pull the door closed with, so I don't have to always put my window down and grab the door. So I came up with an idea, which is going to be a for now idea. Depends on how good it turns out. Okay, so this is my sister's old Tommy Hilfiger belt that she doesn't use anymore. And I thought of cutting it up and making nice little straps, which now that I look at it, might look very, very good and clean. And I kind of like it. So I'm gonna measure it and attempt to cut it up. So I got the hole done, but I don't think my bolt is gonna go through there. So have to expand it a bit. I love how there's literally Tommy Hilfiger written here, so the handle is going to have this Easter egg on the inside. That's so funny. I don't have any tools to work with leather, so don't judge me and my methods of working. My uncle works with leather and does leather stuff. He would kill me if he saw this probably. Okay, so I got both bolts in, but I just feel like having these ends just straight cut is gonna be boring. So I'm going to think of what to do here. So what I'm thinking about here is making these ends so they're not just all of this flat and just bolted on like this, because that will just look boring and a little cheap in my opinion. So I'm thinking of cutting this part a little shorter and cutting up a little bit more of this belt that I have very little material. There's already holes here that I don't want to put in the design. But if you think of it like this, it's going to be folded, just this end, right? and the bolt's gonna go through, which is gonna make this part just a nice little end. It's gonna be a little lifted and just look better, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go try it. There we go. So it will be tightened. We'll have this nice ending, which looks way better than if it was just like this, just flat against the door card. Come on now. Tell me that doesn't look sick. That looks very clean. I know this would be better if it was sewed together or sewed together, but like for a quick DIY job and cutting up a freaking Tommy Hilfiger belt, damn, it looks good. That looks really good. Wow. I'm so happy with myself, what the hell? That looks so good. Hell yeah. Alright, so the door cards are done, as you can see. They look really good. Honestly, better than I expected, to be quite honest. These handles are really cool as well. I thought it was just going to be some for now solution, which probably is, but I don't know how long the for now is going to be, because I quite like them and they look really nice. There's some fuck-ups, of course. There's a scratch over here and some few scratches as well all around the carbon, because handling it and everything, and the resin isn't quite as durable as probably a clear coat would be, properly hardened clear coat. Also, there's like a bit of paint marker that if I'm trying to take off with acetone or anything, or any sort of cleaner, it will make a matte, disgusting finish on the resin. So I want to keep it clear for now, see how I like it. Then I'm going to decide if I'm going to clear coat it glossy or satin or even matte. The matte is just going to kill the carbon quite a lot. So you guys let me know in the comments if I should paint this or clear coat it glossy, how it is right now, or if I should clear coat it in a satin finish. Those are the two I'm choosing from. I already went for a drive with these, and I have to say it feels very nice sitting inside. It feels less claustrophobic because it being like black, the brain thinks there's like room there, and it's not as tightened as if there was like the light tan door card, and it just feels more open. Also, of course, the armrests are not here, so that also helps that feeling. And yeah, that is job done. You guys let me know what other parts should I make from carbon fiber for the Miata. Let's stick to the interior or some little bits and bobs right now, and then we can probably go crazy with some body panels or anything, but I don't want to skip to that just yet.